congratulations as well to both Universiti Malaysia Kelantan and Universiti Teknologi Petronas for a successful managed collaborative to conduct research and employability and work readiness issues among graduates from higher education institutions. You're hardworking with a spirit of togetherness for the sake of nations is really proudly. So this webinar has been basically designed and developed to introduce you to some of the concepts which we will discussing during the course of the today morning sessions. So I hope all of you have a good day. Yeah, now in current situation, we are facing a very unprecedented situation in which we have basically go off online, and conduct all of our daily life, including teaching and learning online. So hopefully, one day soon we will back our normal life as before the coming of pandemic COVID-19. So nowadays we are living in difficult phase on our life. So pandemic COVID-19 come with a big effects to normal life before. However, we must be managing our life wisely according to a current circumstance we are now. So to moving forward and make our life relevant with our current situations, the degree of personal quality skills in our self must be improved along the times. Especially for the graduates, for all of the graduates, all of you must be realized and aware with what our employers' needs and their expected to their organizations. So that today we will listen a serious and critical discussion on employability and essential skills were needed by employer for today and tomorrow. So our panel, which is consists of experts from industries and academicians, will discuss on hard skills versus soft skills. So with a themes of nation capacity building, skills, competencies, and income generations. Discussion will be going around and appropriate some issues in the scope of student readiness on skills, industrials perception on skills, participation in extra co-curriculum activities and students associations, involvement in micro certifications, experience versus no experience, branding and marketing yourself, and tips of securing jobs during pandemic. So that we have a lot of issues will be covered by all of our panel during these forums. Hopefully all of you will be enjoyed to hear these discussions. Please pay attention, and if you have any questions, please text it in chat windows provided in the systems. All of you may be having a lot of questions, so today we have our panel here with us. Let's me introduce all of our panels. Today we have our respected Professor Dr. Balakrishnan Parasuramans. He's a Professor of Management, Human Resources and Industrial Relations from Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Business, Universiti Malaysia Kelantan. We also have Mr. Anil Eskener. He is one of the consultants from Talents Management and Culture, KPMG Malaysia. We also have Dr. Anna Bhattacharya. She is a Senior Language and Communication Lecturer from Faculty of Management and Humanities Departments, Universiti Teknologi Petronas. We also have Associate Professor Dr. Paspulati Wiswera Rao. He is an Associate Professor from Faculty of Medicine and Health Science, Universiti Malaysia Universiti Malaysia Sabah. Sorry. Okay. All of them actually have a great experience will sharing with us today. Okay, so that's a very great time for us. So for your information, if you need to post any comments, please utilize the chat windows and I will transfer them to the respective panels after the during the Q&A sessions after these forums. Okay. Okay, I hope you all can participate in these sessions. And now I thought hand over these forums to the Professor Dr. Balakrishnan Parasuraman to present his opening remark first. Okay, please, Prof. The floor is yours now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Associate Professor Technologies, Dr. Cairo. And also like to thanks to all the distinguished panelists in this forum. First of all, I think timely the I think the forum that we are going to speak on the issue on the skill that match between industry and what the student acquired in the university. I think Tan Sri already giving overview on the what's supposed to do, and Tan Sri I think also linking to the macro policies. What we do in the micro should be linked to the macro. Macro means what the vision of the country, where you want to go. So we're talking about high income nation for last 10 years. I believe Tan Sri and all of us, I think, was involved in the setting up the policy for the labor policy for the country. But we already something that we missed out, some of the element that we should taking into the serious account, that we are not very much looking at what the current situation happened. We are not ready to any situation. I remember, I think Tan Sri and then Datuk Carol, in 1997, I think you all remember we got Asian crisis. I really thankful to our former Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir, who is the man behind to recover the whole economy industry. At that time, I think we're having the same problem with the graduate. Graduates always there, but the thing that how we want to adapt to the industry. So today, what Tan Sri said just now, the graduate today is a totally a different mentality. They are not graduate like those days. So we as a teachers at a school or at a university must understand them. Like what Tan Sri said, Esther was like talking even second year she can talk, brave in front of the public, she can speak well, and then she concise the issues and so on. So we need that kind of graduate. You must giving opportunity. Don't control them. Less teaching, giving more to them to do something. The talent is within them. They are ready to explore. So, like for example, in my class, I always talking to students. You come up your talent, your thing. So I believe Dr. Carol, which I think we discussed today, will lead to the next 10 or 15 years. And I think the most important that the policy maker, I think he come from the, of course, our honorable prime minister, because he's actually the chief person for our country. He's the one, I think he's doing a lot of things for country now. We can see that, but sometimes he didn't goes to the micro level. So I think the university, the industry, the employer association, employees association, and of course a lot of consultant and all these must work together. We don't isolate ourselves. And I believe private and public university must. This is what at Dr. Cairo we take this initiative. And three, we are actually very much thankful to the UTP. They are number one in the world. And we are focused university, also number one in Malaysia on entrepreneurship. We feel that this collaboration, IPTA and IPTS, I'm talking public and private, is going to be some exemplary for other people to follow on. Like other big universities should work with the private university. We got a lot of things that we can share together. So that's why I think this forum, I think this seminar that initiated by expert from the UTP and from UMK is in line with our grant. The grant that we do, just we not just doing grant for ourselves, not for promotion, but the grant goes to the people who are suffering outside. That is our student. We really much think our student is the most important. And then with this, I think we can see the big picture in the country later on. So that's what our research that not stop at the university. We will go through like this public forum, and also we go for the policymaker. And I think believe graduate here in this room, I think they very much want to see something. The same thing like we lecturers also we want to do something for them. And I think people outside also want to help us, so we need to help each other. And eventually, I believe our graduates will be top there, like in like Nancy mentioned, like in Singapore, in Korea, and all these countries. Even though their language is actually they speak Korea or Japan or but they are putting together all unity and work as a team. And we Malaysia got different culture, different race, different religion. We put together and we're going to be one Malaysia. That we're going to bring our country to the next level. Thank you, Dr. Hero. That's all.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Dr. Bala. Okay, there is a good, I think there is a great opinions from Dr. Bala. Okay, I think that because because of the pandemic COVID 19, maybe what we I know that the policy makers actually done their rule as well, and also for the another parties actually for the employers do that and the universities do that. By the way, we are talking about the bridging between each parties, okay, to make it reality. Okay, based on the COVID-19 pandemic, also actually, I think that all of the people or graduates and employers as well, okay, migrate or make some kind of transitions, which is from the from manuals or from the conventional activity before we are doing by face to face and as all. So we need that is the old skills that we covered. But by the way, when we go into the COVID-19 pandemic, so maybe we need some kind of a new skills, which is like digital skills or whatever. So what are the essential soft skills actually are of things that our graduate needs, okay, or any of us to secure an employment during COVID-19 pandemics. Okay? Because I thought that we need a new skills, especially in the during COVID-19 pandemic. So what is that? Maybe Prof. Bala can be give your opinions about that, Prof.
Doctor, can you repeat your question? Because what?
Okay. Yeah, my question is about the skills that we need in era of the COVID-19 pandemic, Prof. Because because before this our graduates maybe just use their conventional or their old skills before the pandemic COVID-19. Maybe they have a new skills that we must be mastered during the pandemic COVID-19, Prof.
Okay. I think Dr. Carol, thanks for your question. I would like to take some of the initiative already done by Talent Corp. I think Dr. Anna, Dr. Savita also involved in this program. During the COVID-19, Talent Corp already initiated how to help these graduates to get a job. So one of the area that we focus, we are going to coaching and mentoring. I think coaching and mentoring is very important and timely for graduate. Graduate, I think the skill that we imparted, and I give some two great examples. I coached two students from UM and also from USM. And one from USM is an engineering student. I think she's I think electronic, I think petroleum engineering. The other one is actually from business from Universiti Malaya. And I don't know both of them. And I just coach them what to do. And the first thing I do, what a skill you need, you go to the LinkedIn, social media. I said you better go to LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, there are many industry, many employers, many people there. You just link to this LinkedIn and you really start to talking to them. Eventually, I think that's one skill that students should have. That they go and talking to the other people. Network is very important. So skill for the say one of the big company in Malaysia. So technically, I can see that they are good in both language. In fact, we should master in both language, Malay and English. We must proud to speak Malay. Many people think that Malay is not important. Nancy, I believe Koreans speak Korean, Japanese speak Japanese, Latin Americans speak the Spanish. Why we not proud of our own language? So we need to have both English and Malay, so that we can communicate wisely and then work with others. So I believe apart from the communication skills, language, and so on, they need to have other skill, entrepreneur skill. Entrepreneur don't misunderstand. Entrepreneur mindset is not when you study entrepreneur, you become no. It's an entrepreneur mindset. Meaning to say you like to work with the people. Like in this room, there are many great scholars in this room industry. So the student take opportunity to close with them. And by the time you're talking to them, then you know a lot of things. Like in my LinkedIn, I got a lot of HR manager. I got a lot of people working. So I say to my student, can you go and link with me and then talk to the HR manager? Then finally you will get a job. So The next question I'm asking, during the pandemic, what the company want? Company is suffering now. Micro and also the employer SME, they are suffering. They need your help. They don't want to do operation work. Operation work can be done for the people, low skill people or clerk or whatever. They want your idea. They want your skill to bring the profit to the country. So I remember, Brother Cairo, when I graduated in 1991 for the USM, and I got a one job in a logistic company in Klang. The first question the employer and the HR manager asked me, I don't want come here, you work just for the operation. I don't want. I want you to solve the problem. You are a graduate. You must think beyond the scope, beyond that. So you remember those days, even the employer already have this kind of mind. I think because of that, we are successful today. Correct, Dr. Khairul? I think you go in this Rome, you also gone through the same, and Tansi also the same. So we are not guided by someone. We are not guided by the lecturers, guided by ourselves. So in fact, I'm not good in English. When I started in my degree in UK, I suffering a lot. I put a lot of effort. Put the effort. I meet people. I go and talk to people, and finally I finish. I went to Australia. Even same thing. So what do you mean that? It's actually your own enthusiasm. And I would like to tell the parents, please give the opportunity to students to go expose themselves. And during the pandemic, they are staying at home. Let parents, guided them and let them do a lot of things outside academic. You see, academic qualification not guarantee get a job. You mean you get an A, not necessarily you get a job. But exposure in the club. That's why, Dr. Cairo, I created BYC, Bursa Some Invested Club. In this club, I can see some of my students already collaborate with the virtual student exchange program with India University. They do themselves everything. I said, I can give money to you, you do it. And they come up with all creative ideas, I believe that they are super students in Malaysia. We need to understand that. Don't blame them. They are not good, no, I don't think so. Whether they come from overseas, whether they're locals, they are excellent students. I believe they're going to be super student in the youth. We guided, like what Tansri said, we as a lecturer, we need to think outside the box. Don't teach just syllabus, don't teach the PowerPoint, but beyond the PowerPoint. There's no PowerPoint actually, Dr. Cairo. It's actually what you going to be part of their life. You understand, you're like, I'm already 50 above, but I go with their life, I understand them and then try to go with them. So I believe with this kind of scenario, they can. So the skill that really need to be networking, entrepreneurship, and also enthusiasm for their life. You do have to create. So we as a lecturer, be a mentor, be coaching, and don't just lecturing and testing them in the final exam, but beyond that, they have to go do many, many things. So outdoor activities is very important, Dr. Carol. Students today, they don't want to go to involve like sport, like extracurriculum, like club, and they don't want to do that. They say wasting time. But I believe this is what industry wants. The first question industry asking, do you have any experience? You must say yes. What experience? I conduct the like Esther. I have been a moderator. I've been an MC. I've been this. They will be. I didn't really look at your qualification. Your A or B. We don't care. What we care is how you bring out your experience at the university level to that. I think with that, Dr. Carol, I think I answered some of the question. Fundamental is networking, entrepreneurial, and drive from their own self, talent. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Tabala. Okay, it's a great explanation. Okay, so we must be, I've been understands about that. So the fundamental is about our networking. It's also about the entrepreneurship skills there. Then of course about our drive, our self drive or our self actually. Okay, so based on that, okay, you're also talking about maybe I will shift to the Mr. Sunel. Okay, Mr. Sunel. Sorry, Mr. Anel with us. Sorry, okay, Mr. Anel with us. Okay. What Prof. Bala said before is about the creativity. It's also about the soft skills, and means that is a very important. So we have a creativity, we have a communication skills there, but with a different industries actually have, of course, they need different skills. For the examples, maybe for the industries in the field of engineering, maybe the skills of technical is more preferred to them compared that communication skill, for the examples. Okay, and then maybe for the other different fields such as social science, for the examples, maybe the skill of the interpersonal skills is more important or and more concerns to them compared to the technical skill. But by the way, okay, how my question is could be manipulate or integrate together with a soft skills and technical skills amongst our graduates to make it them more marketable in the industries. So how about your opinions, Mr. Anand?
Thank you, everyone. First of all, good morning. Thank you for inviting me as a panelist for this forum. So my name is Anil. I'm from KPMG, Malaysia. Just to give you a brief introduction, we are part of the Big Four professional services firm in Malaysia. Uh, I think that's a very good question. Thank you very much, Dr. Cairo. How do we integrate the soft skills and technical skills? I think essentially what's very important, I always tell students, is when you identify, when you're about to graduate and you're about to look out for a job opportunity, it's very, very important for you to first identify what sort of industries that you intend to go into, right? And then that's the start of your career. And why do you have to do so is because the expectations of the roles, because there will be many roles within the firm, right? And I think essentially it's very important for you to identify the role, read through the job description to see what is the expectations if you were to join the particular company, right? And that is how you can then align the expectation from an employer's perspective into a graduate's perspective. And when you have identified technical skills, that is required by the job because technical skills are then relevant to the jobs that you're in. For instance, if you're applying for a data analytics role, you are required to be familiar with Power BI. You're required to be familiar with Python, C++. This is where then you can tailor it according to your needs and expectation to ensure that it also meets the expectations of the industry. I think essentially when students ask the soft skill related questions, then there needs to be a strategy, right, in how do you answer questions. I have come across students who have mentioned, I have good communication skills, I have excellent leadership skills. But how do you answer and how do you provide them a situation to show them that you have those skill sets and you are able to manage difficult situations is also very important. It could be as simple as tell me about yourself, right? Always students will tell that I'm from Kedah, my family members are from here and stuff like that. But what's most important is to know how you could further add value to the firm. So I always tell students focus on the 3S concept, which is your strengths, your success story, and provide the employers a situation, an example to show that you are a good candidate for the future company, right? And I think when you answer soft skill related questions, you got to highlight teamwork, you got to highlight longevity, you got to highlight collaborative mindset, you got to highlight problem solving skills. And how do you attain these skill sets? Are from your leadership participation. Today, as an employer, myself, when I look out for graduates, when I interview candidates, I look for an all-rounder. When I say an all-rounder, I look for a balance of both worlds, not just your academics, but also your co-curriculum participation participation as well to your job that you're going to attend. And I think it's important. Not hiring a student who has a CGPA of 3.9 or a 4 flat CGPA, but is unable to articulate their interests, they're unable to explain what do they intend to do. Right? So it's not all about just asking questions, technical the interview. Because sometimes firm will also require you to do a technical test and require you to some sort of language or a programming language that is very from Dr. Bala mentioned earlier. It's very important for you to be active on LinkedIn, right? Because LinkedIn is a powerful tool for you to connect back to the industries. But at the same time, students also have to understand LinkedIn also allows you to showcase your technical skills and your soft skills that you have and you have acquired throughout your degree. And this is where then it can then illustrate better on what sort of skill sets they've actually acquired in your career. Technical skills and soft skills will go hand in hand when you answer questions, especially during an interview, right? Because what a firm wants to know is whether in the areas of soft skills, are you able to work collaboratively? Are you able to fit into the company culture? We don't want to hire robots. We want to hire people who will also work hard at the same time play hard, right? And this is essentially very, very important to the industry, right? At the same time, in terms of technical skills, you must first identify what sort of career that you are looking to gain, you are looking to attain, right? And this is where then you can then break down, right? Identify what are the technical skills required. Certain jobs may require you to be familiar with a certain platform. Are you familiar with a
Between the technical skills and the soft skills is very important. Then what we tend to do and what we tend to be. So we must be decide that, and we must be realize that what kind of skills that we need to improve and to gain in ourselves. So maybe has a maybe Dr. N, I will shift to the Dr. Anna to ask a question. As an academician, actually, regarding to what Mr. Anil give the opinions before. That is about the personal skills and also about the soft skills and also about the technical skills. So, as an academician, actually, we always concerns and focusing on the the cognitive skill, which is based on the academic skill as well. But by the way, the technical really are not really embedded in the our curriculums actually. The employability skills or personal skills uh, should be the way that to teach our students based on curriculum that we have. Or maybe there are not any opinions about that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Carol. I think the most famous question before anything begins is, can you hear me? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you to all the esteemed speakers, the MC, and everybody present here. And thank you, Carol. And in reference to your question, um, it's coming from various who as it well. Yeah, one is from our own experiences that we have heard. Okay, probably this will bring in some own personal experiences as well. Yeah, the definitely interchange over there. In my own PhD thesis write-up, I looked at communicative competence as one of the major areas of interest because communication skills is what I lecture. That's just a part-time job, there's nothing to it. But mind you, when I went for the interview, taking on the same position of what Anil was sharing and talking about interviews, mind you, the interviewer actually picked on that. He actually asked, and he was the first person, Prof. Khalid, he was the first person who asked about that. And I was shocked myself because all the while we're thinking, oh, people have emphasis on technical skills, your knowledge on the subject matter. Can you do this? Can you do that? But sometimes people ask you on this, and it was surprising enough. And he asked the question, what did you learn from this experience? So never look down to all your experiences. I have my postgraduate student who is with me as a research assistant, and I'm so proud of him because he said he's working with his brother in car washing. When I saw that, I was so touched. I was saying that this guy has exceed because he has no barriers to whatever he things. He's striving out his very best, taking whatever it takes to be a person in the society and community. So back to that question, when he asked me, what did I learn from this? I said that I learned valuing people. I learned valuing people is very important. No matter you are whole, very so this does not come in as part of the curriculum, but it comes in as something you learn while you're there in the field, in the workplace, in the working environment. The customers, you have some customers who give advice, but these are the things you take in, and that's where your learning comes in. So coming back to the question as from the point of an academy, I think there has been enormous amount of ways that the university is also striving and looking into of equating skills. Example, if I may share, we have a lot of MPU4 programs. Yeah, these are some kind of non-examination programs where students involve and work with UTP offer to our clients, our students, would be nowhere less. Yeah. Okay. So so far this is what I can capture and from the aspect of an academy. Thank you, Dr. Carol.
Okay, thank you, Datena. Thank you very much for your explanations and for your opinions about that. That's very great. Okay.
Thank you.
I think that when going back to the Mr. Anil, because we have a different perspective from the industries actually. Okay. Question is regarding to the hard skills versus of soft skill, which is in terms of the student readiness. Okay, and then during in the current situation, which is we have a pandemics, COVID-19 crisis here. So the hard skills and soft skills, it looks like going down. Because at the universities actually we are not really have the solid and concrete solutions to solve the problem, convey or to manage how to teach our students. Okay, in the terms of the hard skills, and then of course in the terms of soft skill as well, based on the online learning. Okay, how to teach in the hard skill and how to teach in the soft skills. Okay, in the sides of the university is a very challenging as well. So maybe in the side of industries, they have their own perspective, okay, to maybe to inculcate or to gain the skills, okay, in the hard and also the skill in the soft, okay, to make your employees, maybe in the current employees and the industries, okay, to make them more competence or high competence in their task. Okay. So how about your things, Mr. Anand?
Thank you, Dr. Khairul. So first of all, maybe I give a brief introduction. So Esther and Yasmin, the organizers of this event, is actually, they are the KPMG ambassadors. So 2 years ago, I wanted to launch a program where my team from KPMG, they are able to actually mentor students. Yeah, so whether it is soft skills or technical skills, on a day-to-day basis. So at this point of time, my team is actually mentoring 80 students across 12 different universities in Malaysia on a day-to-day basis. And this is focused on technical skills and soft skills. So what we actually do, we all must agree that COVID-19 has accelerated the acceptance of technology. So today, attending a webinar online is pretty common, right? And this is where students can then leverage on this kind of opportunity. But what students should also understand is to facilitate the growth mindset, to ensure that you stay relevant and to consistently build up skills in order for you to be marketable as well in the industry, right? And apart from KPMG's initiatives of organizing webinars, just a couple of weeks back, we had a webinar with UTP students. It's called Ask the Analyst as a data analyst, right? And we had close to 100 over students participating in this. So in terms of the industry perspective, we will continue this effort to guide students on various technical perspectives. Every single day, my team has at least 2 to 3 webinars, be it soft skills or technical skills. And we get our consultants, our auditors, and also our tax consultants from the service lines to actually guide students. And we work closely with the lecturers as well. I think it's very, very important for us as an industry to bridge the gap, right? So this is why I created this program that will bridge the gap between academicians and also the industry, and to work hand in hand. That is why I also reach out, like for example, I reach out to Dr. Savita to identify what are the key topics that we can actually do as part of guest lectures within the university as well. So for instance, if a lecturer is teaching information technology, maybe KPMG can come in during the session to actually deliberate a workshop for the students on the industry perspective on that particular module. So this is where we got to work hand in hand from the industry and also the academicians to provide exposure and to manage the expectations of students, right? If students think, okay, maybe I find this subject interesting, information technology, I should look out for a career that is information technology related, right? At the same time, I should also leverage on this kind of opportunities where my lecturers are also reaching out to the industries to get the industries to share their perspective. So that could be a pathway for them to consider for their future careers, and it builds their interest along the way as well. I think that's very, very important, right? At the same time, students should also leverage on various opportunities that are provided online. There is also a platform called Coursera that allows students to take on virtual e-learnings for free, right? Where they don't even have to pay. And this e-learnings is actually focused on various perspectives. Yeah. So for example, KPMG is also working closely with Coursera, where we allow students to take a data analytics virtual internship at their own pace, meaning that they can do it at their own time. There is a video for them to watch to identify what are the areas that they could further develop themselves within the areas of data analytics, because data analytics could be applicable in all industries, not just someone with a technology background, but they could also be applicable to accountants, it could be also applicable to marketers as well, right? That is where students should also leverage. There are various competitions where students can also be participating in. Business case challenge, right? And I believe that when you have the exposure to participate in business case challenge, you will then identify what is the real issues that companies are currently facing, and how, as a student, you
Hello, hello, Doctor. Hello, Mr. Anil. I didn't listen you. Are you there? Hello. Maybe technical teams, please take charge about this.
Okay, I think he's on.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Okay. Now we're here. Please proceed, Mr. Anil.
Okay, sorry. Right. Okay. So as I was saying, I think it's very, very important for students to identify unique opportunities for you to grow your career and to develop different skill sets in order for you to prepare yourself for your future careers. Even myself, right? Today I'm a consultant myself because today when we deliver reports to our stakeholders, we don't deliver reports in Excel. We deliver reports using Power BI, right? And you may not have the knowledge. It's okay. We learn over time, right? And this is where you can further develop yourself in order for you to prepare yourself for your future career. So never limit opportunities, right? And it doesn't matter which background that you come from. You must always put that mindset away that, okay, I'm an accounting student. I can only do accounting related jobs. Today, we are looking for diversity. We're looking for diverse skill sets that could further add value to our clients, to our customers, and that this could be applicable to various industries. I've seen engineers who become consultants. I've seen accounting students who become data analysts, right? And this is where you should also have that mindset that you should take up different e-learnings, different certifications for you to be well prepared for your future career. So never limit your learning opportunities. Always open to taking up different learning tools, right? In order for you to prepare yourself for your future career. Also participate in a lot of online e-learnings, like for example, like I mentioned earlier, Coursera, right? Participate in industrial webinars, even on LinkedIn, like what Prof. Bala mentioned earlier. There are a lot of leaders from different industries that continuously share, and they have webinars on LinkedIn as well that will share with students their various perspectives. And you never know, they could be your future boss, right? So this is where you could further develop yourself and participate in all these kind of areas. Hope that answers the question. Over to you, Dr. Khairul.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Anand. Actually, I want to move to the Dr. Rao. By the way, I have some question to ask to you because that is very interesting, you know.
Yes.
Because you said the last word is about the some like a multitasking, isn't it? So means that the student must be masters in a lot of skills and a lot of capability or specialized they need to do. So in your experience or in your perspective as an industry's player, okay, are you mean that multidisciplinary is more important is compared than a specialization? How do you think about that?
Yes, I do think so, right? Although you may specialize in a specific degree, right? For example, you have an accounting degree, but maybe you specialize in taxation. But I think in today's situation, right, with the challenging market, I think you need to expose yourself to various skill sets. I was looking at the questions earlier, sort of on how many skill sets that I should acquire throughout my journey in university. There is no number to it. As long as you are able to take it up, go ahead, right? And what's most important is to identify. That's why I tell students, you should always treat your LinkedIn, for instance, as a living organism, right? Then you see, you become very competitive because you see that you have updated certain skill sets. But your peers within the same community has updated 20 skill sets. It's because they have actually acquired those skill sets. And this is where you can see that students from various backgrounds, they actually acquire different skill sets that will be actually essentially helpful for their future career. And this is something that I want students to have, that mindset that you shouldn't be from a specific background that you can only acquire those skill sets. It's all open, and in order for you to be to stay relevant and also to stay marketable in the industry.
Okay. Great input. Thank you, Mr. Anil. Okay, I would like to move to the Dr. Rao. Okay, Dr. Rao there. Okay, Dr. Rao. what we are talking and discuss with Mr. Anil before that is about we want to facilitate or we want to make our students going masters in more than one skills actually. So they must be have some kind of multitaskings that we must be give to them. By the way, in insight or in perspective of the academicians, maybe Mr. Rao can, Mr. Dr. Rao, Associate Professor Dr. Rao can be give your own opinions in your perspective actually in the terms of in the aspect of the extra co-curriculums activities at our at the universities actually. Are you think by going the extra co-curriculum activities there will be inculcates our students against their personal quality skills or employability skills there? Uh, Associate Prof. Ra, maybe you have comments about that, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Khairul, and all the eminent panelists here. So it was really a wonderful discussion since past 1 hour. So all the bright talent experts have given lots of thoughts about it. Yeah, I would agree on most of the points and all the points by the eminent speakers, and especially Mr. Anil has nailed everything down, and he has not left anything to other speakers. So, well, first and foremost, I would say is braveness is most important than any other skills. As Tansvi was mentioning, Tansvi was appreciating the MC. So braveness is very most important thing than technical skills and soft skills. Once you have that braveness, then definitely you can sharpen your soft skills and technical skills. Coming to soft skills and technical skills, it's all about like chicken and egg. Which one is first? So definitely they should go hand in hand, but according to the situation, you have to use them wisely. Whenever soft skills are required, so you have to use them very much wisely, and you have to show, say for example, when you're going for an interview, so you must sell yourself showing what kind of soft skills, especially the communication skills play a bigger role there, and also leadership roles. And you can also inform them the problem solving, how you can solve the problem existing in an organization. It can be an industry, it can be a university, or it can be any NGO. So then you can also emphasize on teamwork. So how much are you ready to work in a team? And also how much are you, contribute to the organization if they recruit you to work as a leader and to make the things happen individually and also with the teamwork. So you should emphasize more on that as well. And another thing is, you can also mention to the panelists or to the interviewers how best you are in the decision making. If a certain scenario, earlier Mr. Sunil was mentioning about it, STAR, situation, task, action, and result. So maybe you can try to explain that in a very good scenario. You can create a scenario and you can explain well. So that is most important. And when it comes to the technical skills, when you are recruited into the organization, so you have to show your technical skills. And before that also, some of the organizations, they will try to test your technical skills. Say for example, in one of the interviews which one of my students attended, it was in India, way back almost 10 years back. So when he went for interview, the panels, they literally asked him to draw the formulas and ask him to do the calculations, which means they are checking your technical skills real time. So which means they should be having technical skills and also soft skills hand in hand. And also another thing, before we are delving more into technical skills and soft skills, it is not just only the student. it's not only the student's role to play in attaining the soft skills and technical skills. It is every one of us our duty as a mentor or as a lecturer or as an educator, even the faculties, organizations, everyone is responsible to make the students to have more sustainable skill set. It can be technical skill or it can be soft skill. As I could see one of the questions from the participants, whether he was, it's a very good question also, whether the technical skills are very much less learned in the universities, and when it goes to the industry, soft skills are being asked, which means whenever we are training a student, say for example, for every course on every area of research or every area of expertise, we have the students whom we have to train, say for example final year projects. So there you have lots of interactions with your students, and from my personal experience I will tell, once I assign a project to any student, so we try to discuss about the methodologies and research cultures the way before they start executing the work in the laboratory. Then later on, most of the time you spend the time with them how to deal with the current situations. It's not about always you need to discuss about the project. You can discuss about the project, you can set the goals, and they are also matured. Our students are matured so that they can understand and they know what they have to do. If they do not do, and they know what are the consequences they will face. So we have to set the goals at the beginning when we are starting the project with them. Then most of the time we should train them on soft skills and how you can try to adapt to the new situations. So that's where we have to play a bigger role. That's what I strongly believe. And another point is another question I have observed. What about the current situation? Say for example, we don't understand, since I am in the medical faculty now, and even my research is completely on biomedical research. So we cannot say the pandemic will go off soon, and also we cannot say that this pandemic is the last pandemic in the world. No, there may be more pandemics. So according to the situations, according to the pandemics, we have to, or according to the natural disasters, we have to train ourselves and we have to adjust ourselves to the new normal, which means the students or the faculty members, this is not only for the students, even for the faculty members, we also need to be trained in e-learning and also how to utilize the computer skills aptly. Otherwise we will be lagging behind. So we are nowhere, even though we are very good with lots of technical skills and we are very good with traditional mode of training. However, if the world is going in a different way, the students and the researchers, industry partners, every one of us per se as a whole, we have to deal with the current situation and we have to go with the current scenario in a proper way, that we have to follow the new normal, which is e-learning. And also even one of the speakers was mentioned about it, about Coursera and other stuff. Even Prabhala was mentioning how exactly the students have to play a role to get good employability. Even the academic situation has been clearly given by Dr. Ena. So these are my few points and my 2 cents for this forum discussion. So over to you, Dr. Khairul. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Associate Professor Dr. Rao. Okay. Very interesting opinions. What you're talking about is the right things that our graduate must be alert with what kind of skills they must be masters. Okay, so I thought that maybe Prof Bala have a different perspective, especially to gain the skills among of our graduate. okay, especially in terms of the pandemic COVID-19, you know, because maybe have some kinds that to be upscaling or to be rescaling, skills among our graduates after the graduations, maybe, okay, to make them employable, okay, from the employers, okay. So, Dr. Bala, sorry, Prof. Bala, maybe you can be comments a bit about the system of micro certification that I thought is already introduced at the universities. So, how about the systems of the micro certification, and is it university actually ready to come up with courses of the micro certifications? Okay, maybe Prof. Bala can be give your comments, please, Prof.
Okay, thanks, Dr. AP, Professor Dr. Khairul, and also thanks to all the respected panelists, Mr. Anil, okay, KPMG. I think UMK are willing to work with you when you come to UMK.
Definitely.
So I was very impressed with your ambassador program. I think our students are ready. Dr. Rao, you also in UMS. All right. And also thanks to Dr. Anna and also Dr. Rao, who's from a medical background. I think what Prof. Cairo was talking about micro edition, I think it's one of the best way to overcome the graduate employability. I think Dr. Cairo, I think time for industry. I know, Mr. Anil, can you take my point? Those days I remember when we all study in the university, the industry come and interview at the campus in the final year. They don't come after they graduate. Why not? You all make sorry, I'm not advising, but I want to solve this problem. So why not you all come on the final year and come and actually come up with some kind of the what the skill the student really need, and you can interview them, and you can find out. You got time like 4 months to go for the employability, and you can synchronize them in order to match. So I come back to the question to Dr. Cairo just now. Cairo, I think that is one of the best way to accredit our the started from university level. I think many industry are willing to come to accredited. One point that miss out here, I think most of you must understand here. Mr. Anil, the Jabatan Kebahayaan Malaysia, the skill department, they got all SKM 4 and 5 now. And these skill, why cannot bring to university? There are some courses that they can accredited student before they go. Why we only focus to kind of outsiders, but we bring to the campus? I will tell my team also, Dr. Carol of the Lake, we're always thinking that we can bring this skill to the university, and maybe during the second year or third year, they can start have a skill-based certification. As you know that this skill department, they have freely thousands courses available, which developed by the industry. It's not totally academic, and they are very practical. So the moment that we can bring this one inside the campus and we can start certified while they're doing technical knowledge, cognitive knowledge on the specialization subject, what they do. But I believe this kind of skill can bring along the which line, and then they can expose themselves different kind of situation that's happening in the outside world. I always believe that the outside world, what they learn in the campus, it doesn't match to the what happened, but they have this kind of knowledge that they know how to, like a few speakers highlighted, teamwork. Okay, the teamwork already started in the campus. I always tell my students, and I give you always a problem. I don't, Mr. Anil, I don't bring the problem to me. They solve the problem. I'll give an example. Mr. Anil, there's one time in our recent group, our assignment, there are problems, in the group. And the leader come back to tell me, I said, you solve the problem. I don't solve the problem. Why do you solve the problem? This is what the industry wants. So if you bring back the problem to your supervisor, manager, then something wrong with you. And finally, they solve the problem, complete everything. And then it's kind of like, they know what to do. And this is an example I putting in within the project work and so on, that what you said just now, mentioning how to match the source and then the technical. You cannot separate it. In fact, you cannot teach them, you cannot teach them soft skill because it's already inside their mindset. So micro, just now Prof said, okay, it's actually the right time to do that. And I think MKA, our good friend, yang bahagia Professor Muhammad Sattar, he is willing to work with industry, misalnya, he is willing to work in industry and the university. He is a very free, open-minded. He was an UTP for the past few years as a VC. I know him very well personally because we involved in the beginning on the soft skill and co-curriculum. I think when you talk co-curriculum, what that co-curriculum was embedded with our curriculum. So students think that co-curriculum is not important, they think that, so why not we give some credit, Dr. Carol, credit them in co-curriculum, so that when they come out, they have both, so that the industry immediately no need to talk about soft skill. Am I right, Mr. Ani? You agree with me? Why you need to talk about soft skill? Why you need to talk about technical skill? They are come here. I am ready to help you. I'm not asking my salary now. Okay, give me 6 months. I come up with this formula, very easy formula. We sign it. Give them 6 months. Give the salary to what they want. After 6 months, they will leave the organization. They will resign by themselves. Why? You give the KPI 6 months from now. You will pay 3,000. What is the KPI to achieve? If they don't achieve the KPI, they will resign. You don't need to sack them. You don't need to go to the labor court. Don't need to industry court. They will do themselves. So this is a new approach. I think, Dr. Carol, we need to impart it to the student. That means the employer no need to worry. You give the job, you give the, don't go for minimum wage lah, as what Tan Sri and myself, because we are in 11 years in the committee, national committee. I and Tan Sri working on this for the unskilled people. But the time to come now, high skilled people, that is a graduate salary based on the KPI base. If you cannot solve the industry problem, why you go to industry? For me, no need to go. Like I'm the professor, Dr. Rao and Dr. K, we are coming, we know what to do. So today we are promoting our university, UTP and UMK, and many people will saw. That is how we bring the good reputation for our organization. Like what Ms. Ani said just now. Before you go to the industry, you must study the industry background. You even don't know who's the CEO. You don't know who's the man behind the company and how you going to apply job. In fact, sorry, I'm asking some students, do you know the VC or not? They say, who's that? So I start inculcate them. You should know who is your dean, you know your lecturer or not? Yeah, like that. What do you mean? Yeah, go to YouTube, look for them. You can study. So recently, Sanil, I got LinkedIn friend because some of my LinkedIn people coming to communicate with me. So one of the young lecturer from Mumbai, so she wanted to communicate with me, and I said, why don't you come and give a lecture to me? And she's very energetic, talking, wow, they say, student, wow, bro, we're going to Bollywood star. Okay, why not? I bring the Bollywood to you. And you see the enthusiasm, you make them, wow, and then suddenly she coming and she talk like, young, she's very young, and then talk enthusiasm, and they feel like totally different. They are going to the abroad from the Malaysia. So who to blame? I don't blame anyone. I don't blame in the industry. I don't blame the lecturers. I don't blame anyone. We need to start something from now. We don't just talk this. I don't want Mr. Anil come another forum talking of the soft skill. No, Mr. Anil will come next time. Hey, you got the best talent from UMK. I saw like Esther, many students, like Anis and all these students actually already contributing to the building to the nation. Again, we are looking for the country. Wherever the country want to go, you want to be like Korea. I went to Korea a few years back, Mr. Anil. They are totally different. They're like want to go explore themselves to other country, So you can see the difference between them because why they are proud to be their nation, and at the same time they want to contribute to outside. This is what I see in many countries. That professor, sorry, Dr. Rao, professor never utilized by our country. Do you know professor from Korea? They go to the Brazil, they set up the company, they go to research, come back and tell the Samsung fully utilized. Why KPMG cannot do like that? Sorry, I'm asking the question. Mr. Anil, you can use our capacity. We are willing to work, support you. Why not you utilize us to do something for the country? At the same time, we meet our graduate. So I think our graduate got talent. Everybody, otherwise, why they come to university? Am I right? Why they come to the university to study? Even medical student, Dr. Rao, I'm sorry, they don't know how to speak. I talking to the veterinary student, medical student, they don't smile, How can you be doctor if you don't smile? You don't know engage with the people. You think they're so, they're very proud. You're walking like something. Hey, come on, like professor lah. They don't talk. I think you're so smart. No lah. Your medical students are supposed to engage with the people. Pandemic now, you see, you frontliner. You need to help. They don't smile. So what is the point? You become medical doctor. I say no point. You go to other profession. So people cannot smile, cannot talk, cannot. So I'm saying, I'm very sad. I want to see you have to talk different ways list of things. I don't blame Sunny. I'm very pity of you are doing a lot of things like ambassador program, everything. That this is actually very good initiative you've done. You're bringing the industry inside the campus. I think we are UMK and Dr. Nick, we are doing a lot of activities in the for the student. You know, Sunny, they can set up a company in the campus. We're giving money for them, and we can start a business on the campus. And business can be anything. Like example, I'm going to set up a company like, let's say, consultancy. You can come and do that together. So why not we separate ourselves? Don't be separate, because we are paying the tax money from the private company, Dr. Khairul. We are using private taxpayer and they pay us now. And the graduate go unemployed. Hey, very sad lah. What is going on in our scenario? Suppose those pay the taxpayer, these students go out and help the industry to grow the industry. And I believe our graduate can be done like that. We don't talk about salary. I always don't talk about salary. Salary will come later. Sunil, agree with me, huh? Salary will come later. But how you perform, contributing to your company, and bring KPMG #1 in the world. Wow! And KPMG CEO was, wow, this is what I want. Bring the reputation. Important that when you go to any organization, proud to be that, and you grow together. Like Dr. Rao was a UMK, and I also from UMS last time. We are together. I never talk bad on UMS. I collaborate with him. I brought him to the UMK and UTP. Dr. Anas, my university mate last time. We are studied together, and we are not don't know each other. You know, Dr. Khairul. We are just like, she's an English department. I was an economy, social sciences. But after 20 years, we met again. Wow, suddenly collaboration start again. You can see that kind of collaboration is very important. So this is what I'm trying to say for today, Dr. Khairul. Some point I highlighted today.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Can I just add a little bit to the discussion?
Yeah, please,
Dr.
Tena.
K, I think along those lines, the skills and attributes come to be very vibrant, and they become the indicator of what a student's future would be like. According to some questions here, I'm just referring to some questions posted on the panel in the web chat here. For example, the skill sets that the students have been trained in by Amira. Amira has provided this question. Prefer when they go out to the workplace. So he says, how can the graduate prepare for such situations? Well, it's very much, we don't have a magic ball answer to that, yeah. But I think that what actually can transpire in a communication moment that you have is to indicate your willingness, to explore, willingness to try, your willingness to learn. That can be one way to show how you can adapt and adjust. So learning is always ongoing. Then see something about pandemic. How will the situation affect the building and enhancing of soft skills? Talking about internship opportunities that the students have right now, it has been sort of limited in a way because they may not be able to go to the industries, but they have to work from home. Use it as an opportunity. Use it as a learning point. Use it as impetus to yourself how you can make a difference. For example, even if he were to give you a scope list of 1, 2, 3, get down to doing that, provide him your feedback, but after that also ask, how else can you offer your help? That is another way. So again, it's very much boiled to the person. The third one, about, there was a point that I had in mind. How do you show your enthusiasm? Okay, how do you show your enthusiasm in terms of remuneration? You may not be paid the figure of salary that you want, but probably at this point of time, accept what you have, accept it, and go on and learn. Think of the opportunity that you have gained some learning experiences, you have gained some forte, and from that it can add on to your CV rather than having nothing. Yeah, it can add on to your CV. We had this problem before. Many a times with fresh graduates or trainees, there would be the question where we want working experience, but hey, we've got no working experience. So I think the dynamism is how when internship comes into the play, yeah, and part-time work, all these are opportunities for you to build your skills upon. So whatever it is, be it setbacks or challenges, I think we are all sharing the same drive to the notion that we empower ourselves at every opportune time. Yeah, it may not match what you want exactly at this point of time, but take it on as an opportunity to grow. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Dr. Khai. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Anna. That's a good input from you, actually, about our graduate. Actually, we have a limited time to that. By the way, maybe I will jump to the Mr. Anil, a bit, regarding to what Dr. Anna said before. It's also about like some, it's also like some experience. Maybe our students have experience or they are lack of experience. So what if they have a lack of experience, especially to facing the industry? Of course, they go to the industrial trainings before there, and then they know a bit about the ecosystem of the industries there. But by the way, they still needs more experience about that. So in the perspective of the industrial, in the perspective of the industries, actually, how to make our graduates equip themselves by branding themselves and by marketing themselves to make them more, to make them employable, to make them employers take them as their employees. So maybe in perspective of the industries, Dr. Anil can be, Mr. Anil can be comments a bit about that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Khairul. I think I want to highlight a few things here. First and foremost, internships does not only come in when I think students look at internship as a compulsory module to fulfill rather than looking for to gain some real work experience. When they look out for an internship, that's where students start looking out. Okay, at the very last minute, then they start looking out for internship. Some of them, yeah, but most of them would have secured their internship months ahead, right? And I think students should look at a perspective where you are looking, you want to gain the exposure, and then you can decide on which industries that you like to intern in. But at the same time, I've also come across a group of students where, as long as there is a semester break, what they do is they do a voluntary internship, right? So it doesn't have to be a compulsory internship in order for you to gain some experience. And that could also allow you to gain different experience. When I was a student, I used to leverage on this, right? I used to do Grab, yeah. I used to be a property negotiator while I was studying, and yet I could also deliver results and graduate as the best student in the business faculty. So I think it's all depends on your interests and what you intend to do for your future career. If you don't intend to challenge yourself and to be out of your comfort zone, right, it's going to be a challenging road ahead, definitely, right? But at the same time, I also see, like what I mentioned earlier, I shared that a lot of firms are actually doing webinars, right, in which it focuses on various perspectives. Just to answer to Dr. Bala's request earlier, KPMG, what I've done is actually we have curated a program called the Career Bootcamp. As long as students are going out for internship, students are going out for their future graduates, where we actually conduct a forum as the first session and series of webinars that focus on resume, that focus on the interview skills, mental well-being, stress management. We also look at professional etiquette. It comes in a package. And after the whole series of
webinar and also the forum, students are then required to attend a mock interview session with our career advisors for them to identify what are the areas they need to further develop if they were to attend an interview. It's like a practice for them. So I think students should generally leverage on this kind of opportunities. And I know a lot of some of my peers who's also in other firms is actually doing all sorts of programs just to guide graduates out there to ensure that they have an avenue to look into apart from just their academic studies. I think essentially in order for them to stand out, I want students to always think that it is a competitive market. It doesn't matter. You must think not in terms of the job market, but also in your class, right? There is 40 students, but how are you going to stand out as compared to the other students? This is something that you should also ask yourself, right? If you want to be at the same level with all your friends, then it's going to be difficult, right, for you to attain your dream job. But if you see yourself as participating in various various webinars, in various part-time jobs, it doesn't matter. To me, is if you can be a barista and you can have that part of your resume, that will be good, right? But how do you explain it in your resume is also important. For instance, if you say that I have been a barista for 6 months, that does not explain anything. But you say I've been a barista for 6 months, I've managed 100 to 200 customers, right, within a short span of time, or perhaps I work under minimum supervision. This is how you articulate, so what Tan Sri mentioned earlier. How you articulate it, it paints a different picture and it paints a different perspective to the industry. And when the industry hear those kinds of explanation, it really paints a different picture and it paints a positive picture for the student to actually attain their dream job. So I think generally what you should be well prepared is to participate in various part-time jobs, right? Take the opportunity to also participate in various webinars, right? And in KPMG, on our perspective, we are more than happy to guide students, right? Doesn't matter weekday or weekend, we are happy to actually conduct the webinar. So I suggest you can also check out our KPMG UTP Ambassadors page, Instagram. They have their TikTok page, they have their Facebook page, right? Where they publicize all the events that they are actually conducting. And this is not just providing opportunities to a certain group of students, but they're also providing opportunities to students who are abroad, students are in Malaysia, in the public universities, or even the private universities as well. So that does not limit your opportunity. There are a lot of opportunities out there. It's whether or not you want to challenge yourself and you want to take it, right? If you think in a sense that I'm only a student and I should only be scoring grades, but I shouldn't be participating in that, that's the wrong mindset. I think having the right mindset is essentially very important in order for you to secure your dream job. Don't worry too much about salary, right? Because as long as you have equipped yourself with the relevant skill sets, you're able to deliver accordingly, according to the expectation that is being set, I'm sure you will get what you want. Over to you, Dr. Carol.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Anil. That is very great input. Hopefully, our graduates can take that as a guide for all of them to branding and to marketing themselves. Okay, at the futures, hopefully. And then still regarding to the branding and marketing graduates in themselves, maybe shift to the associate professor Dr. Rao. This just maybe you can give your own personal opinions about that. Okay, because I'm just thinking that by using the social media such as Facebook, Instagrams, YouTube, and a lot of things. That's not all of that I cover actually. Okay, so I think that is the appropriate mediums can be used by the students or by the graduates to branding and to marketing themselves. If yes, maybe we have academicians. In what role actually we to guide them to do that? Okay, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Epi, Cairo. So that's a good point to talk about, which social media or how social media plays an important role in students' future and also in getting the opportunities. Well, as even before this, Ms. Anil was mentioning about LinkedIn and other various platforms, how they can grab the opportunities. because mostly I use most of the times LinkedIn, and I update everything in the LinkedIn, so that you will not only know the people in your field, but also from various other respective fields. And as a student, you have to explore the possibilities what are coming in social networks, because nowadays even the industrial managers or industry people, they are also becoming very smart. So these social networks are free, so they are advertising there. So without spending not much money, even they are also fully utilizing the platforms which are available out there. So the students from their college days or university days, they have to follow up all these kind of social medias, and also now most of the students are very good in Insta, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, even Telegram. So to mention a few of them, so they are really very good in following all those kind of platforms. But before following all these, they should have, especially when they are trying for job. So most of the students even nowadays, they are very much anxious about the things. So this is in the current scenario which I can talk about this particular word anxious and ambiguous. So they are so much of ambiguity, and they are so anxious about the jobs. And even Prabhala, as a senior professor, he has raised the curtains of contradictory so many, to all our young lecturers. So he has, sent the challenge. Hey, you guys, you should address these topics. That's true, Prabhala. We agree on those kind of matters which you have raised. There, self-motivation is most important for the students. With the anxiety, they are going with for the with the depression kind of stuff, and also they are expecting high salaries. Even Prabhala clearly mentioned about salaries. The students are not mainly focusing on the jobs; they are highly expecting the salaries. So instead of, this is a suggestion for the students. Instead of expecting the handsome salary, try to get some salary in the hand to get your experience. So that would serve the purpose. And also, you can fully utilize all these social medias, platforms, whatever are available, and also looking into the websites of the industries or universities according to your interest, because it is not once you graduate bachelor's degree in sciences or social sciences, arts, and management, whatever it may be, maybe later on your area of interest will be narrowed down, because you will be studying lots of subjects in your bachelor degree or master's degree. But when it goes to your job, it must be focused on one area, so that you can just try to list down all the areas and then narrow down. Then looking for the jobs in that particular field would certainly benefit you in succeeding the careers. And later on, once you get your job, then I have already covered those points last time, mainly based on the team management, how you can solve the problems for the industry or the organization. So that will certainly help you in succeeding in your career, as also you can become the leader. Not everyone can become the leader, because there are certain skills you need to have. It's not always about whether your subordinates are doing the job in a right way or not. At the same time, the leader should focus more on encouraging your subordinates. So I could see those kind of qualities and characteristics in some of the students, where they are now succeeding in the leadership positions. Even they are, we are happy as lecturers. Only lecturers and academia field will have this kind of satisfaction, that when the student grows beyond and above you, so we feel so happy. So some of our students are CEOs, some of our students are, they have achieved a lot when compared to us, but we still feel happy. Thus the credit goes to all the academic staff and all academicians present here. That's all from me, Dr. Okay. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Associate Professor Dr. Rao. Yeah, there's a great opinion and suggestion and maybe advice to our graduates, okay, especially when they want to brandings and when they want to marketings, they want to market their self. Okay, so for the audience, maybe if you want to ask something or if you have questions to ask, just please use chat box, okay, which is already provide the systems. So just please do that, and I will be give the questions to our respective panels. Okay. So,
Dr. Hairul, can I join in a bit? If you don't mind?
Sure. Please,
You don't mind? Eh? I'm very impressed by the panelists this morning, but I'm happy to note that from Mr. Anil, KPMG has done very well in terms of creating the environment for student attachment, for student being articulate and inquisitive. I think the point is well taken. My only comment is not many companies are like KPMG because as we know, most of our industries or most of our enterprises are very small. So the problem is actually catching the whole student before they graduate to be attached productively. I think that's a big question, because some undergraduate just join in, as you said correctly, Mr. Anil, that is part of their program, but being unprepared, they may lose out. I think that attachment should be taken seriously, and the only thing is, for some companies, we know that it's a burden for them. Why should we employ undergraduate who are not proficient, who have no experience? So at the end of the day, we know some undergraduate complain that they make coffee, cuci tandas, that kind of thing lah, which is of course exaggeration. But to be fair to the big companies, I think some have done very well, multinational and so on. But another additional, Mr. Chairman, Dr. Khairul, if we see the government higher education plan, there's always a statement, there's always a plan to say that academic staff, faculty members must interchange with industry people, like Mr. Anil, with a lot of experience, be teaching in the faculty, and faculty members be attached, say 6 months, to understand, the mechanics of operation of companies and so on. But it's always planned. We all in Malaysia, we like to plan, but implementation is the weakest link. So that's my comment, Dr. Khairul. So we can dwell on it with another seminar, So our structure of industry hasn't come to the level that Mr. Anil was talking about. But company like KPMG, multinational, Petronas, they all do this kind of thing. But they can absorb all the undergraduate. So that's my comment lah. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, very good comments, Tan Sri. Yeah, I'm interested with what kind of, we always plans about a lot of things that we plans, but to implement what I planning is another thing. Okay. So here maybe I have one questions here from our audience. Okay. I thought the questions to the Mr. Anil actually maybe because Mr. Anil is the ones from the industries here. So okay. I'm going to focus to the industries. Okay, to our audience. Okay. The question is, I'm just read here. Due to current developments of coronavirus pandemics, what is your opinions, Mr. Anil, on about changing the way how the industries adapt to new norms, industrial practical attachment with industry. So how the KPMG approach the challenge?
Okay, thank you. I think that's a very good question. One thing that we are very thankful before COVID-19 actually came into the country, we are also very thankful that the firm has heavily invested in technology. So much so when it hit the country, we could transition well from working physically in the office to working from home. So at this point of time, we are still actively hiring for our 3 service lines, which is audit, tax, and advisory, and hence why we have been also strongly advertising positions as well. What we do is onboardings are being conducted virtually. So today, students don't have to be physically present in office, where laptops are being sent to their doorstep in order for them to attend the onboarding on the first day, right? And then after that, it all depends on the work that they do. Sometimes when our clients requires us to come into the office, then there will be opportunities for our interns and also graduates to travel to the client's place, but definitely with supervision. So in KPMG, you don't work in silos. You work in a team. So for example, if you are serving a particular client, so it's called an engagement team. And within the engagement team, we always ensure that there is people at different ranks, our colleagues at different ranks. So seniors, interns, managers, and also seniors as well. So this is where they can then identify and also understand better in terms of their learning and to refer to someone who is much senior to them. So at this point of time, interns are still working from home, especially with this FMCO. But we have, today we are very blessed to have platforms like Microsoft Teams, where we can keep closely in touch with our employees, and we also assign supervisors in every team to actually take care of these interns to ensure that they have full understanding of the work that is being assigned to them, and they also have catch-up calls with their seniors in the team. So at this point of time, it's being well managed, and what we also encourage our interns to do, because there is a lot of e-learnings within the firm that they can actually leverage on. So apart from their internship, they can actually look into e-learnings, taking up as a learning opportunity during their internship, and I think we also have our current focus. We just launched a new program called the Wellbeing 360, right? Where we also want our employees at this point of time to ensure that they enjoy and understand what does it mean by stress management, what does it mean by well-being, right? So if they need any further assistance, we actually develop a program where they can actually refer to this buddy system. They can actually speak to someone in case if there is an issue that arises, and we can actually look into it further. And then like next week, we have a yoga, right, that is done virtually for our colleagues in KPMG. We engage a yoga instructor as well. Last week, we had one doctor who actually talked about the vaccination today, just to give our employees the exposure. Where interns can also participate in that, just to gain for some exposure. Apart from just work, they also need to enjoy their journey at KPMG. So that's how we are currently doing.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Anna, Mr. Anil, sorry about that. Okay, thank you, Mr. Anil. Okay, that's a good input about that. Okay, I jump to another questions because we have a lot of questions here. So maybe I've just select some selected question. It looks like same, so I'm just select. These are questions about I thought this for all of the panelists, so open for all of the panels. It has been this from the anonymous. It has been said that soft skill matter as much as technical skills. So, however, I noticed that most of the universities out there do not actually introduce soft skills, much as technical skills. What is your solution on this? I thought maybe it is from our academicians, the representative of the universities here, Dr. Rao, Dr. Anna, or Prof. Bala can maybe answers these questions. Maybe Prof. Bala can be comments a bit about this.
Okay. Dr. K, thank you for the question. I think later, I think Dr. Rao can add on Dr. NR. I believe that teaching soft skill at the university is not appropriate. You know, teaching is different to embedded. I think okay. Do you remember last time Bahasa Melayu merentas curriculum? You know that the word?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
means
sure.
in
Sure.
English, Malay language go across all the discipline. That's what we're taught. So today, the same approach I would like to propose here. You know, for all the Malaysian university. That means the soft skill is not taught by someone, but it's embedded in the teaching. Okay, how to embed it? Example I give to you all. I mean, when lecturers, when teach in the class, who take part in the class? Either lecturer and student. So let students speak. Like today, you see, all of us can speak. You know, I mean, the student can speak. Let them frame out the issue, because, like what Ms. Sani said, actually all the online they can pick up, Ms. Sani. We cannot teaching them. If I will say something, they say, Prof, you're talking 20 years ago theory, Prof. It's not relevant anymore. They can say like that. Why not you ask them? Hey, today you know what is the latest industrial relation theory? What do you think? Oh yes, Prof. I already went to the like that. You know, so they come in, and that is soft skill. They're brave to speak up, because mostly of students, I found that Sunny, every 25 years I'm teaching. I think Tan Sri more experience than me. They don't talk. You know why? They was like punished by our parents last time. Remember, Tan Sri? Or you speak only, hey, you ni tak pandai cakap. Jadi they brought to the university. They're scared to see you. You know? So why not the first round of teaching, Dr. Carol? We make them free themselves. Oh, hey, no, come, hey, you okay? You just like what I do normally in my class. I say let's take a selfie first when I'm in the class lah, not like now lah. Wow, they see why Prof selfie? Hey, of course lah. Today I want to see your face lah, your smiling face. And then they start, engage with you. They won't sleep, So you can attract, like example, when I teach my class, so many activities going on, I brought the industry people, I brought these lecturers, so other students were looking at you, hey, Prof, can I join your class or not? I'm not boast myself. What I'm telling you, they're already attractive, so they want to come in. So I think soft skill must be embedded with teaching and learning, and especially now the online, super, like what Mizani said just now, and Tan Sri said that this must be embedded during the teaching online. Misani, how I did, I also don't know. I'm very weak in the online teaching. I'm the 50 years old, and Tan Sri, we're all backward. But suddenly, I learned I put a 2 computer. So what I did, last time student was sleeping, because you turn on your PowerPoint presentation, you won't see another computer. I said, no. Can you turn on your video? I can see all the faces. So they don't sleep, they're engaging with you. And at the same time, I did a virtual party, next week, tomorrow, I got a virtual party with them, They're going to bring the cake, And then what they did, one day, they sent something to me, Prof, can you go to the campus or not at this time? I said, I went there. Suddenly they said, someone come here, say thank you to bring the flowers, everything, I'm not saying this, but they want to say thank you to you. And then they do the virtual party. We are singing a song. Tomorrow we go to virtual party. Dr. Carol, Tan Sri can join us tomorrow. This is a real virtual party. Like cutting cake, everything going on. So I say my last class is actually enjoy the class. So that's what they remember you, Wow, that can. So this is a human resource skill that I said. When you become human resource manager, this is what you have to do. So I think my question to answer to the Dr. K must embed it. Don't go and teach. I believe some lecturer not happy with me, but I don't care. Like Dr. Rao, medicine student, they don't know how to smile because you don't teach them. They don't bring them in the reality to the kampung, bring the doctors to kampung, sit with them, talking to them. How can doctor to be doctor sit on the lab? No, that's why they're on the lab. You have to come out and talk with us, Dr. Rao. We are people to help your medical students. Thank you.
Yeah, one thing, Dr. Rao, one thing.
Please, translate.
Universities, a short one, must actually review minggu orientasi. Abolish it. Because I was my first degree in UK, university, tak ada orientasi, no ragging, nothing. You just go in, you find out where the library is, where's your lecture hall.
Tapi itu yang teringat, Prof. Itu yang teringat, ragging tu.
Bukan memori.
Itu yang best.
We all, I think, some of us go through this process. But I pun dulu hostel dulu. Form 1 I masuk hostel, they rag and all, then you don't want to talk, And
Yeah.
similarly, I would suggest IPTA all minggu orientasi buang lah, wasting of time and money, because the senior student will rag you, and then they are dragged to the library, they are dragged where the canteen is.
Masa tu dia cari jodoh, Prof.
The senior one. But I think, seriously, they have to review, Dr. Hairul. Tak payah. Leave the student on their own, they can find out.
Yeah. Maybe we can looking back to the objective of the orientations week, isn't it?
Betul, because they actually, the idea is to get the student acquainted.
Yeah.
We make them dependent. We make them dependent. Semua kena ikat hidung jalan sini.
Actually,
No need.
in UK and Australia, they did the same thing to me. Everything they throw you out, they go themselves. No orientation.
Yeah. You just register, you find out yourself.
Maybe what we should do is a forum for freshman year, invite the industry, the first year lecturers, have a very interactive forum session on what is expected from the students. Because most time when students go into the campus, within their first year, they feel overwhelmed. One is in their education. Second is in the areas co-curriculum. Because this is where student societies want to recruit new members. They do not understand what is the perspective. So I think we should have a forum session and dialogue session, more like a teh-tarik session rather than a very formal orientation.
I agree.
I think that also in the circumstance or in the new ecosystems actually at our new world, because the pandemic, COVID-19, and also have industrial revolutions era, all that thing. So not just our graduate or our students only must be changed, but also everybody must be changed.
Yes.
With a new
applies to all.
It is definitely an uphill battle for the current generation. There are no opportunities to meet and interact. But then this is a very simple example. Like my daughter had her friend's birthday yesterday, and they made it a point to have a meeting virtually, and they got connected from all over the world, and they actually had a party and singing a birthday song, those kind of things. Just simple gestures, and I like the idea of virtual party, taking it light. And if I could add just I think there was one question on EQ and mental health. I think that is a superb question, and it is so important at this point of time. Whatever it is, keep the people at heart. Understand that everybody is facing challenges. There was a point in time when I had a student who was absent for his class, and he's never absent. He's usually present. So I inquired and I said, is there anything wrong? He said, Madam, I just need a break. I don't want to see anything online. I just want to be totally free. Oh my! And you know how do you adjust to such answers? How do you accept such answers? We have to learn. Even we as educators, we have to learn. I said, okay, son, it's great. Thank you for sharing and telling. I hope you're feeling better. So we have to accept. Sometimes they have problems. So I think being human at the very bottom line is so important. Be it whichever perspective we are coming from. Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
That's right. Dr. Anna, especially the mental health and issues, especially in the pandemic COVID-19. We work at our home, respectively. So maybe it's really affect in our way of working from home or learning from home. So maybe what's Prof. Can be a bit comments about that. Since Dr. Rao have the expertise about these issues, will there be any awareness program actually included in learning syllabus at the university? itulah, itulah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. K. When we talk about medical curriculum, so they, it is already embedded. The mental health issues and mental health curriculum is already embedded in the system. So this is one core curriculum where all the students have to be.
Okey, baiklah, seperti yang dijanjikan bersama saya lagi host anda pada pagi ini dan bersama saya juga sekali lagi yang berusaha Profesor Madya CS Dr. Nick Zulkarnain di mana PM mungkin PM boleh berikan sedikit kesimpulan melalui perkongsian dan kupasan sebentar tadi.
But it all depends on the personality of individual. But most of the time, especially in the medical faculty, we train them even as Tan Sri just mentioned, orientation week. So during orientation week, we tell them where in other faculties we don't tell them. In medical faculty, we train them how exactly they have
different skill sets. So to be honest, if students can take part of this opportunity, right, to participate in a ProTeach program, it will be very good. Right. Sometimes when companies have such a program, it's also a platform for they to be to consider you to be converted into a permanent role. So there is an opportunity for you to look into as well, provided you have been performing well during your ProTeach program. So I think it's an excellent initiative, and it all depends on your path that you intend to go into. I know one of my colleagues who actually was in the HR ProTeach area where he actually gained different perspective, and after that he wanted to pursue a career related to those departments. They have actually gained some experience. So I think when you apply for a ProTeach program, it has to be relevant to what you intend to do for your career, so that at least you can take those experiences and also and that could be an added value to your future career as well. So before you apply for a program, a ProTeach program, identify departments that you are looking to explore. Then only you apply for a selected program rather than just applying for sort of different programs. So also another thing is firms are also establishing graduate programs that allows you to go on a transition. So for instance, we also have a graduate program that allows students to go on a rotation every 6 months. That allows you to challenge yourself every 6 months to try out one department as well. So that could also be an avenue for students to look into when you're looking for a graduate career, apart from just applying to the departments that you intend to go into.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Anand. That's a great information from you. Okay, so everybody hopefully get that message. Okay, so now we are achieved in at the end of this session. Actually, very tough actually, especially as a moderator. By the way, there's an experience, and then of course we've got lots of informations and lots of knowledge that we get from our panelists. Okay, we talk or discuss about the importance of hard skills, the importance of the soft skills, and then the students' readiness of on skills. What are the industrial perceptions on skills? So lots of things, involvement in macro certifications. We also cover the experience versus no experience candidates, and then how to branding and marketing yourself, and also about the EQ, and it's related with students, and then in what else? Participation in extra curriculum activities and a lot of things. So hopefully all of the things, the matters that we discuss, okay, will be give some guides to our graduates who are listening us at the outside, who are watching us at the outside and around the world, especially because we broadcast, okay, by using the YouTubes and also MS and Microsoft Teams and a lot of things. So finally, my word is thank you very much to all of the our panelists. Also, especially also to the yang berbahagia Professor Emeritus Tan Sri Dr. Anuwar, okay, join us, okay, from the beginning until now, okay, so give their strong support to us, okay, hopefully all of us will be changed the scenario that's issues covered in all of the graduates now. So my last word is thank you very much and enjoy yourself. Okay, bye.
Terima kasih. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sri. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, and also thank you, Tan Sri, and thank you all my fellow.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you to all the participants as well. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much to Dr. Khairul, to all the panelists, and to Tan Sri for the engaging session. And to be honest, I personally, as a student who will soon be going for my internship, I have gained a lot of inputs, advice, and also tips from all of you throughout the discussion, be it from the academics and also the industrial perspective. And I believe that we have covered all of the objectives from the forum just now. Thank you, everyone, for that. Thank you. And now it is time for our lucky draw session, but it is only eligible to those who have registered for this event. And to all participants, once I have mentioned your name, please kindly verify your presence in the chat box to redeem your reward. Or else, I'm sorry, but we might need to move to another winner. All right, let's direct our attention to the first lucky person today. All right, drum rolls, everyone. Yes. Congratulations to Miss Nurul Ain Adipah binti Romzi. Miss Nurul Ain, can you kindly type in "I'm here" or "yes" in the chat box, so that our committee will approach you right after this event for your reward. I'll give you some time to reply me in the chat box, and meanwhile I will start the countdown now. So Miss Nurul Ain Adipah binti Romzi 1, Miss Nurul Ain Adipah binti Romzi twice, Miss Nurul Ain Adipah binti Romzi thrice. So yeah, I don't see Miss Nurul Ain's replies in the chat box. So I believe that we have to move and choose our next lucky winner. But hold on, Iman. I'm afraid she might need some time.
Okay. Sure.
The prize is gonna be a secret between us and the lucky winner. All right.
Is Nurul Ain here? Is it?
No, I think
We can proceed to the second one.
yes, sure, Iman.
Okay, we should remove it first. Okay, guys.
Okay, drum rolls.
1, 2, 3.
Wow, banyak ya.
Okay, here. Okay, let's see. Are you here?
Mr. Muhammad Hakimi Muhammad Shafi'i. Please kindly type "I'm here" or "yes" in the chat box. Maybe Iman, you can start the countdown now.
Okay, so calling for ones, calling for twice, and calling for twice. So, Mr. Muhammad Hakimi, are you there? Not here, I think, Esther. I cannot see the chat box. So, you can see the chat box, Esther?
Yes, I think Muhammad Hakimi is not here with us, but we'll see him in the afternoon session, I think.
Okay.
But hold on, Iman. I think they need more time.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Sure. Take your time, Mr. Muhammad Hakimi.
Okay, Iman, can we proceed with another?
Okay, sure. I think I'm gonna customize it since it's like kinda boring dia punya songs. So wait, after spin we put
Wow.
okay, which one Sekejap, wait for this one.
Okay.
1, 2. Okay, kind of dramatic. So, Miss Nurjaida Jalila, are you there? Miss Nurjaida? Okay, I think I'm gonna make a countdown. Okay, so Miss Nurjaida once. Miss Nurjaida twice, and Miss Nurjaida twice. You can see the comment, is it, Esther?
Yes, but I'm still waiting because the people in the live, we need to consider them.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay.
Sure. Right. You think should we include background music?
Oh, we have. I think someone said I'm here just now. Yeah.
Is it for Jaida or the
Yes.
Jaida?
It's the Miss Nurjaida. Okay, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to Miss Nurjaida Jalila binti Nozi. I guess, Iman, should we bring the 3 of the lucky winners to the evening session? What do you think?
I think that's a good idea. Sure, sir.
Thank you, and please stay dramatic. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Thank you so much, Iman.
Okay.
So congratulations to Miss Nurjaida Jalila, and we will bring the 3 lucky winners next to the evening session. Congratulations again, and thank you, everyone. Thank you, Iman.
Thank you, Esther.
That marks the end of our lucky draw session. And do not feel discouraged because we still have a lucky draw in the evening session. So please come and join us because who knows, you might be the lucky one later. So bear with us until the end of this event. And for now, let us hear some recap from the morning session by our first speaker, Professor Dr. Balakrishnan.
Okay, thank you, Esther, for to be a very excellent MC. Everybody was alert, enlightening. Okay, I think we are since 9 o'clock until now. I think nobody become tired. Everybody very energetic, and everybody exciting, and everybody want to know what's happening in the afternoon. So, as my role to recap the whole session, maybe Dr. Anuwar will add in later. I think from the speech by when opening, I think some of the speakers already highlighted the issue on 4.0 IR, and I think about the soft skill versus technical skill. That is, I think, our aim for today. And also we look look at our theme, that we are clearly looking at what are the capacity and income generation for the next future, our graduate. I think all of us here, the speakers, I think already highlighted a lot of the issue this morning, and everybody concerned about our graduate, our future graduate. Nobody think by themselves, but they think about our own children that are going to be future leaders in our country. I think what happens today, this morning, Tan Sri was highlighted two main issues, three main issues actually, talking about national policy, and mainly you focus on the vision prosperity in 2030, which I think before that vision 2020, and you also link to the high income nation. I think that is a national policy that in linking to the education, and of course Ministry of Education will link direct to all the private and public universities in Malaysia. So the end product is actually graduates. So what we do now, actually we have to link each other. That's what Tan Sri was talking about that. But mainly, finally, you will end up with the three main things. I believe this is very important for our participant here, who are our future leaders. I think we're talking about Rukun Negara. I think Rukun Negara is one of the basic fundamental principle for all of us to follow. Maybe Dr. Rao and foreign academics or foreign employees to work here, I think we have this Rukun Negara, and this Rukun principle, I think, followed by all our citizens of Malaysia. And in line with that, you were talking about national identity and also ethics. I think most fundamental source graduate is ethics actually. So ethics is a fundamental, and ethics how you inculcate actually ethics starting from the family first, and then you drive through all the way down to until you get a job and so on. I think most important, ethics very important. We can see that some of the CEOs, some of the big players in the country now, right? They are involving in this certain issue like corruption and so on. I believe we need to inculcate among the graduate. One study conducted in UKM, it was showed that empirically conducted and showed that I think 30-40% graduate, they want to take bribes in the future. So what do you mean that? I think that is a very important issue that we need to consider, that we need to inculcate the ethics from the beginning, and also when they come to the university, we need to teach them all these issues, right? And followed by our forum theme today is technical skill versus a soft skill. And I think the only industry player in this room, actually Mr. Anil. Mr. Anil started with a very good introduction that he said KPMG was done a very great job, that you come out with the ambassador of KPMG in the universities. And then I believe that you are patient to the university to help them, to support them. Of course, you want to bring them to the next level. So meaning basically what is going to happen is actually what he's trying to say, that the engagement must start from the university, and then you inculcate in the industry later on. And he was talking about the fundamental issue, the skill suppose the graduate should have. The example, like he said, soft skill in terms of the how to be internalized, how to be networking, how to be socialized, through the online and so on. So these are the issues that he highlighted, followed by Dr. Anna was talking about competent communication skills and how to link to the graduate themselves, where they should started at the university. They should prepare themselves. They should know about themselves. They should know, understand themselves before understand anything. So they should understand the role as a student. They are not a school student, but they are university student. I keep on telling most of the university students, you can do anything. You can do a lot of things, but with the principle, with the current regulation, university. Like example, they can organize a global leaders. They can bring Bill Gates. They can bring all the top leaders in the country. They're all the big players, like including in China and others. Bring them to the university and give them opportunity to talk to them and ask them to deliver what they want. So that's another issue highlighted by Dr. Anna, also talking about industry attachment. And she was talking about industry attachment, how to is it industry attachment is the key to get a job. And actually there's a pro, there's a contra. I believe industry attachment starting point. When you go there, you're not just doing a coffee or whatever, you have to do the real job. I believe universities should play on this industry attachment. They should prepare our students before they go to the industry or intensive. They should actually prepare in earlier. This is what we do in UMK and also in my university. What we do now, before the student go to the industry, we need to understand what industry they go and how to adapt to that industry. That's what highlighted by Mr. Anil. You must understand where they want to go for next in the industry and what the job available, how to adapt the job to them. Like a few students, they will specialize in HR or maybe something, but they end up with the marketing. They end up with the entrepreneur. There are a lot of my previous students. They end up with someone because they already got the basic technical knowledge in the university, but when they go out, they try to adopt with all the skill they have, and they've been someone. So today they are someone CEO. They are already been super excellent in the company. Yeah. So that's what, and followed by Dr. Rao. Dr. Rao was talking about fundamental issues, soft skill that the students should have. He was telling that he already practiced some of the issues in the on the class, saying that how the student go beyond the university. For example, he talking about example, student can organize certain forum between one university to another university or within one country to another countries, and this one can be done. Actually, student must play an important role rather than lecturers to play. Right? Lecturer only be a mentor, lecturer only be moderator for them, but all the activities is actually initiated by them, and this credit goes to KPMG, where you already giving a room for UTP students or maybe other students in Malaysia, that they are the one actually initiate. You're talking about their engagement with the social media. Okay, so I'm not saying student to engage more time in social media. It's fine. You can go to Facebook, you go to Instagram. That's what your free time. But you also engage with the professionals, which I'm always focused on the LinkedIn, where you can talk to many people. There are people, a lot of people around all the globe will be there. You can engage with them. I engage to many people around the world. I engage with all the professors. Sometimes through their LinkedIn, I brought professors from other countries to come and give. But even though we don't know each other, but we become friends. So the friendliness must be important element that you must have, and always be ready in whatever circumstances, whatever pandemic, you're ready to adapt yourself, and also when example you go to the companies, you need to. So these are the issue I think we highlighted today, and also highlighted our matching grant, which I think we're talking about the readiness of the employability and what are the skill needed by the employers. I think the early results show that there will be a lot of things to be done within the graduate. So graduate need to prepare themselves. At the same time, industry also need to understand the graduate limitation. Probably there will be big. We already have engagement, but we need to have a big policy. So I think when the moderator, I'd like to thanks to Dr. Khairul, who are moderating the issue. He started with a very good point. He highlighted some fundamental questions, keep on going, and he addressed issue on that. So thank you, Dr. Khairul, for all the input that you're putting there, and also thanks for the participant outside who are asking many questions toward the panelists. And I really thanks to Yang Bahagia, and I think he really loved, and he was telling me a minute ago that he'd like to talk to the student, and I said, why not we do more engagement online. I think maybe KPMG also can engage with us, then we can do more things. So we can bring a lot of students to participate. I believe empower the student. Don't empower to ours, but empower the student. Let student run the things. Let student do all things. They can bring the social media. They can bring the all these speakers. So that let them do. We only support them in terms of financial, in terms of whatever. But if the student can do all this, I think the graduate employability is no problem. We don't talk about graduate employability anymore. We're only talking about how to become the excellent staff in the future. That's all. Not employability issue. Actually, to improve them to be next leader. So employability issue will go off if we can work together. And we really need the industry partners come and help us. We all work together in the end. That's what the conclusion made by all the panelists is one nation, one Malaysian, not only one Malaysian, we global player. You can be a one global nation. We can abroad working with the many countries in the world, and they can help each other. So this is what we can say in this conclusion. I would like to say, advise all the graduates, you are talented, you are the best, you can do everything, regardless where you come from. either you come from the poor family or middle class or top class, you all in the one nation. And I think our government also willing to support, and they have a lot of plan like HRDF. HRDF are bringing a lot of free courses to you all. It's a free online courses, and maybe you can go in and learn. And then they also got a lot of program, place and train and so on. So I think everybody want to support our graduate. So you are the officially, you are the person to develop our nation. Thank you very much. I hand over to MC Esther.
Wow, thank you so much, Prof. Dr. Bala, because I feel very motivated listening to your summarize of this event. Thank you. And before that, I would like to invite all the speakers and panelists to reply the unanswered question in the chat box. But last but not least, let us invite Dr. Anna to recap the morning session.
Hi, Esther. Thank you so much for holding the fort this morning and keeping all of us sane together. Thank you, dear. You've been such an inspiration. I'm trying to thank you also, Prof. Bala, for recapping all the important points that have been shared and reiterating our emphasis of the objective of our talk this morning. There is a question by a different scholarly group of postgraduate students. Please forgive us if we felt that we had not addressed you, but I think in general, whatever skills or competencies that we have highlighted, attributes that we have highlighted, also include the postgraduate community. So I think one of the questions from Mohammed Idris, if I may just add on a little bit, was he was referring to the job prospect, I think, because I'm a PhD scholar in finance and also a lecturer from finance for the last 7 years. So I think his concern is how do we grow, if I'm not mistaken. So Mohammed and all the other PhD scholars around here who are listening in, you have many fantastic opportunities to grow. You are working with an institution. You can leverage your institution. Yes, you have the advantage of working with a university or an institution. That will be your number one leverage. Then you can leverage as a PhD scholar. You can take advantage of many talks, many conferences, as usual, conferences that you can participate in, and in this way, through this way, meet and network with more people. Just as has all of us have shared here, you continue to use your platform as a point of broadening your whole circle. During my experience as a scholar, PhD scholar, I had collaborated with many of the prolific writers in the area, and we had come up with a book. So book publications with other scholars in your area would be one way to also grow and enhance. And then, this can add on to your mileage. Getting onto all the social media platforms are also another way to mileage whatever you have done, your contributions or differences that you have created, not only through small ways, big ways in publication, but even personal contributions in your club, making talks, getting your works published. Those are all many numerous ways to grow. So keep on growing, take on training, take on certifications that are abundant, as mentioned by Mr. Anil, and all the others here. So I think what we have mentioned this morning addresses the whole population, be it undergraduate, be it TVET learners, be it postgraduate students. We are all the same, and even professionals. Our learning doesn't stop; it continues every other day. This idea of the talk is also a first-time experience for all of us here. So it is also a learning journey, so in that way we are learning every day, and we hope through this we can spread our visibility, as they say. You have to increase your visibility. I think all these platforms have one aim in mind, is to encourage and spur your visibility. So even as a scholar, even as a PhD student, even as an undergraduate student, visibility becomes very important. That's how you make a difference in yourself. Yeah. Thank you very much. Back to you, Miss Esther. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anna, for the brief and eye-opening recap. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all for the morning session. But we will be back for the afternoon session at 2 p.m. with some interesting topics to be discussed. So stay tuned with us until the end of this event. And lastly, kindly scan the QR code and fill in the feedback form to redeem your e-certificates. Until then, see you guys at 2 p.m. and enjoy your lunch. Stay safe and take care. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe. See you guys at 2 p.m.
Thanks, Esther. Bye. See you later.
Thank you.
Thanks, Esther. We'll see you later.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay. Okay, see you tomorrow.
Dr. 9 TV.
Okey, teruskan menyokong Dr. 9 TV.